work out the interquartile range. Now the interquartile range is this value, the upper quartile, minus that value, the lower quartile. So that comes out to be 166 by the look of it, minus 158, and so our interquartile range here comes out to be 8, and that's just 1 mark. Now it then says draw a box plot for this information here. So it's given us the 15 tomatoes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where the middle is. I'm going to cross off 3 at each end, then another 3, and then I can see clearly this one is going to be in the centre. Now because that's the centre, what I'm going to do is find the upper quartile now. The upper quartile is basically the same thing again, but for the top half. So I'm going to find the middle of the top half. And so I'm just crossing off one at a time to find it there. Now when you've got a big list of numbers, lower quartile the same for the bottom half, when you've got a big list of numbers, this doesn't work. You have to use a half n plus 1 and a quarter n and 3/4 n. However, when you've just got a list, it's quite simple to all label them off and cross them off. The biggest number is 186, the smallest number is 153, and so getting those correct is first part of the problem. The next part is to draw it, and I'm just going to draw it down. There we go. Now I've said before I haven't got a ruler on this, but you should use a ruler when doing this. The software doesn't allow me to do it. So I've got everything drawn. I've got the box and whisker plot. They're all in the right spots, so that'll give me my 3 marks. Now it then says compare the distributions of the weights. Now when you're making a comparison of distributions, what you're looking to do is compare the medians for 1 mark, and for your second mark you're looking to compare the spread. So that means we need a correct comparison of the medians, i.e. 170 versus 162. So 170 for Jack and then 162 for Tom, and you've got to put it in context. So it's not just putting the numbers down, so therefore Jack had heavier tomatoes. It's a pen. And then the same again for the spreads. Now for the spread you could either use the range or you could use the interquartile range. And if you're going to do that, remember you've got to put it in context. I'm going to use the interquartile range because I've already got it for Tom's. So for Jack and Tom, the interquartile range for Tom was 8, the interquartile range for Jack was 9, and therefore putting it in context, Tom's tomatoes were more consistent in weight. Now you'll notice the consistency in weight doesn't matter whether they're smaller or heavier, it's just they are more consistent. That's what the smaller interquartile range means. It means you don't move around from your median weight as much.